you have got a marvelous idea.
And you want to see your idea in the real world through a mobile app.
For that, you have to talk with an app development company who can materialize your dream. But the problem is that you don't have much knowledge of the process or technical aspects of app building. You don't have to know all the technical details of app development. Only you have to be aware of a few basic things to plan for a successful app project. This understanding will help you to make the right decision optimizing development cost and performance of your app. So before you talk with the development team, understand the app building procedure phase by phase. In this video, I will explain 7 app development steps starting from ideation to uploading the app to the Play Store or App Store. So stay tuned till the end of this video. Hello, this is Ananda Banerjee and you are watching Fuel and Income. Step 1. Research on your idea. Your idea is incredible, amazing and out of the box. But the big question is, does this idea solve any problem for any specific kind of audience? Please don't just assume the answer. You better talk with some of your target audience. Those may become the initial users of your app. Take their feedback sincerely. And on that basis, check if you need some corrections on your planning. But never think that you always need a super innovative and crazy idea for your app to be successful. Sometimes you may focus on a very basic problem that is being solved already by your competitors. You can always beat them by providing a little different solution or giving a better user experience of your app. Take this example. There were already very popular Yahoo or MSN web search engines while Google arrived in the scene. The idea was nothing new. Google just organized the search results more efficiently and made a super simple display for the users. And that changed the game. At present, Google dominates more than 90% of search engine market. So I hope you got the point. Do some prior research on your idea. Make some changes based on your feedback if required. Just be confident in the idea you are going to execute. Step 2. Plan for an MVP. So, as soon as you feel confident in your idea, you have to plan for an MVP. MVP? What is an MVP? I'll explain. MVP is the abbreviation for the minimum viable product, which means here an app with minimum basic features to engage the audience. You need to develop an MVP first because the MVP gives you the opportunity to check if your product features can satisfy your initial consumers and helps you to gather real-life feedback from them. On this feedback, you can mold your product that your consumer will truly love. Take the example of the first look of Facebook. It was just a simple website listing students' faces side by side and asking users to choose the hot one. Today, you all know what Facebook is now. We can understand how it made a journey from an MVP to a gigantic product that fits well in the market. I hope you have got my point now. So list down the essential features of your MVP. Step 3. Making prototype. Once the features of your MVP are decided, you have to create a prototype of your app. Prototyping is basically an interactive mock-up of the proposed app. Its purpose is to get the feel of user experience before the app is actually developed. So making a prototype doesn't need any working code. Before you get into the detailed design layout and coding, you can try some different prototypes and ask feedback from your friends. Work out this phase seriously. because the success of your app depends much on user experience. There are several ways to build a prototype. The most simple way to produce a prototype is to draw sketches on a piece of paper. You have to draw a diagram of relevant screens of your app. Then you can take photos from your mobile and slide them one after another to show interactivity between the screens. But the industry practice is to do this job using any prototyping software like Figma, Adobe XD, Sketch, Azure, etc. This job should be definitely done by professionals. Only thing is that you have to be aware of the process that is going on. Let's proceed to the next. Step 4. Prepare the design. After prototyping, your app is ready for the graphic design to be implemented. Graphic design mainly of two types: user interface or UI design and user experience or UX design. UI or user interface design is applicable where you need to display only presentation-based content. But while you are building an application, you have to keep in mind that the user will do a lot of activities with the app. So in that case, user experience is more important than mere designing an user interface. An efficient user experience or UX design will help your app to retain its user for a longer time, and consequently it will contribute towards the success of your app. Another important point I must mention is that the UX design of your app must be aligned with your brand theme. Your brand theme should come up with a brand template where the logo, colors, typographies, photography styles, icons, etc. would be well defined. This brand identity design is not a silly thing. It's a profound subject and you should have taken this part very seriously. Your brand identity design reflects the core values of your business. So keep these things in mind while designing your app. Now let's move to the next part. Step 5. Decide the technology. This step could be decided beforehand. But whenever the graphic design of your app is final, the decision of technology to be used becomes the crucial part of this development process. Use of technology makes a big difference mainly in budget. Technology also makes a difference in performance of the app. Broadly, there are two major technologies that come into the picture while developing a mobile app. One is hybrid, other is native. Those who have seen my last video are aware of these terms. Again, I will give you a little brief. Development of hybrid app is platform independent, means you can use the same coding for both the platforms, Android and iOS. In contrast to developing native app, you have to develop the code from scratch for each of the platforms. This is the main reason development of native apps is costlier than hybrid apps. Another reason is that it takes longer time to develop a native app even for a single platform. But performance-wise, in terms of user experience, native app is better than a hybrid app. So what's your decision on hybrid versus native? I will suggest, even if you have a massive budget, start with the hybrid, because currently two hybrid technologies have been very popular that can give you almost native-like experience at lesser cost than actual native development. The technologies are named as Flutter and React Native. Flutter is developed by Google and React Native by Facebook. Technically, these two frameworks Don't use HTML unlike the other popular hybrid framework Cordova. I will make a separate video to discuss all these technical things in detail to give you more clarity on these technologies. For now, simply do understand that if you develop your app in Flutter or React Native, you will get almost native-like user experience in lesser budget. If you have your budget further low, you can develop it in Cordova. Alternatively, if you have your budget high enough, you have sufficient time to get your app developed and you don't want to compromise a little with the performance, then go for native development. Write in the comment which technology you think is the best for your app. If you are planning to start your app business, you can discuss with us. Me and my team will help you all the way on your app journey. You can text in WhatsApp or give us a call. Now, the next step. Step 6. Get the hosting. Do you know what does the hosting or hosting server mean? In one of my previous videos, I explained the hosting server and its 4 different types present in the market. Those are named as shared, VPS, dedicated, and cloud hosting. If you have not yet checked it, you can get the link in the description. I will again give you a small brief and take you a little further. Hosting server is basically a computer or a network of computers that hosts websites, applications, or databases. It hosts means it stores, processes, and delivers the content while getting requests from the users through the internet. 99% of the mobile apps need to store its files and data in a server, unless it's just like a calculator app that doesn't require any internet or database to run. So you understand, in most of the cases we need a hosting server to get your app running. Now the big question is, which server does my application require, or where should I get my server for the app? In the earlier video, I explained why cloud servers are the most popular and efficient among the 4 different types of server. But the advancement of technology is now way further than simple cloud hosting. Those searching for app development process may have come across the term AWS. The full form is Amazon Web Services. In 2006, Amazon introduced a new type of server that doesn't only provide storage spaces, rather it came up with so many services that can be used on a pay-as-you-go basis. Technically, this type of infrastructure is named as Cloud Computing Platform. After Amazon, tech giants like Google, Microsoft, IBM, Alibaba all came up with their own cloud computing services. Gradually, this new technology has become the trends for the startups and big businesses. Till today, AWS dominates the entire cloud computing market. Big names like Netflix, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, Pinterest, Twitch, SAP, Disney, Apple, Sony, and many more are using AWS as their cloud computing platform. So definitely you can think of this platform as your cloud computing infrastructure. But managing a cloud computing platform is not as simple as a Linux or Windows cloud server. It needs an efficient hand to utilize to its optimum potential in a cost-effective way. Later, I will make a separate video with more details on the cloud computing platforms. Step 7. Develop, test, and publish. This is actually the main execution part. While you have your design ready, the technology is decided, and rented a hosting platform, you can start to code to make the functions work. First of all, list down all the points in detail that you are going to implement in the first version of your app. Share this document with the app development agency. They will give you a proposal of cost and timing on the basis of these points. Now, once the terms and agreements are final with any consultancy agency, ask them to split up the entire project in multiple milestones. Each milestone will have a to-do list along with the split up cost and timing to complete it. This will define the project scope. As soon as a milestone is done, it should be properly tested to confirm that every function is working properly. Then move on to the next milestone. This way, your project development phase will be in proper control. When all the points are done as per the project scope, you can go through the entire app and check if everything is okay. Now you have to publish your app to the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. What you need is a Google Play Console account to publish the app in Google Play Store. Google charges 25 USD one time for this. But Apple charges 99 USD every year to get an iOS developer account to publish the app to the Apple App Store. It is good to launch the first version of your app as a beta launch. This means you just let your users know that it is still in testing mode. In Google Play Store, you can pre-launch your app as early access or open beta. In this type of release, public review and rating are kept visible from the users. Early access prompts the app users to provide private feedback. This helps the developers to get real feedback to identify bugs or to get suggestions without worrying about the negative reviews or rating. One thing I must remind you that to get your app approved in the Play Store or App Store, you need a web URL with privacy policy, terms of use, etc. I will suggest booking a domain with your app name and getting the privacy policy URLs from this domain itself. This will also secure your brand. If you don't have a web application along with your mobile app, then you can at least make some basic pages with an app download interface. This will serve the users that are coming from Google search to your website. Thanks for watching. I hope this episode has been helpful to you, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Now you have 2 more videos to boost your knowledge. I will be there in the next video.